Okay, we're going to show you how to change a carburetor on one of these 50cc mopeds. Right now we have a RX50, and I already took this one partially apart, but we're going to show you how we did it. So we popped the seat, and I took 4 nuts loose. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 10mm bolt loose right there. They're all 10 mil, so you just need a 10 mil socket. And then this whole seat lid pulls right off. And don't forget about the connector for the USB charging port. And disconnect that. And now we have all kinds of access to the carburetor. So the first thing we did was I loosened these clamps. I already have them kind of loose. This one too, I loosened it up. And what I like to do first is spin the carburetor, turn it counterclockwise, and I already loosened up this nut for the throttle linkage. 2 12mm nuts, so 12mm wrench. If you loosen this, spin that out all the way off till it comes off of the cable, then pull it out, and you can take the cable, wrap it around like that, and pop it out the bottom. There's a little eyelet in the bottom, and it pops right out. So now we turn it clockwise, and I've already taken the fuel line loose from the fuel inlet, and that is something you can just grab the little the clamp and the hose and pull it off by hand. From there, the next thing to do is take your wire here for the choke, electric choke, and it is zip tied in a couple places. It's zip tied. I already cut the zip ties, one there, and then there's a little rubber grommet that covers all these connectors. So we went ahead and took this grommet loose, and my connector for the choke is right here. I'm going to release that, and then we can work the carburetor out of its intake. There we go, and remove the original carburetor. So the installation is just about the exact reversal of the removal. First step is we're just going to get it into the intake boots. There's a little line up tab there. I like to line up. I'm actually going to rotate it to get the throttle linkage on. Oh, this one. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so this one we just hook it in there, loop it around. We're going to pull it through that eyelet back on. Tighten up the nut. And what you want to do is feel the throttle while you're doing it, and you want a little slop in your throttle. That's important because the reason you want that is so that you don't have idle runaway when you turn the handlebars one direction. That cable gets too tight, every time you turn the handlebar, it will raise your idle up. I'm gonna snug that, make sure I got free play, which I do. This little grommet goes on there. Okay. Rotate it back this way, and I'm gonna hook up our fuel line. Leak. There, it pops on. Straighten it back out. And at this point, we can plug our choke linkage back in. Pull the rubber grommet back over it. And then when I'm done with this video, I'm going to clean it up by zip tying these wires against the frame just to tie them up out of the way. And we're going to snug up the hose clamps. this clamp actually rotated, so I'm gonna pop it off. Okay, just like that. All right, we are back together. So now it's time to start it, and it is gonna crank for a little while that new carburetor fills with gasoline. I'm gonna wipe up a little bit of spilled gasoline underneath here. Fired right up. There we go. I'm going to tie my wires up with some zip ties, put the seat cover back on with my 4 nuts and one 10mm bolt. That's all it takes.